Welcome to the Real Estate Pros Show, where we interview real estate investing professionals from coast to coast, as well as the service providers that serve the real estate investing industry. Our goal is simple: share what's working now to help you improve and scale your business to the next level and meet the pros that can help you get there. Real Estate Pros is powered by Investor Fuel, America's leader in helping real estate investors and professionals build the business you need to live the life you've always dreamed of. Let's start today's show. Property insurance for real estate investors doesn't have to be difficult, but it does need to be there to protect you when you need it. MyInvestorInsurance.com not only provides insurance at 15 to 30% cheaper than traditional agencies, it's built specifically for real estate investors like you. You can set up an account in about 2 minutes, get quotes on properties, turn on and turn off insurance for your fix and flip or rental properties in around 2 minutes without having to talk to anyone directly, all through our portal. There's no better way or faster way to make sure you've got the coverage you need to protect you, and no more lengthy policies either. Once you're set up, you're billed monthly and prorated by the day for however long your policy is active. It's powered by MSI, the third largest independent MGA, with 1.5 million customers and more than $1 billion in cumulative premiums written. Get set up today in about 2 minutes at myinvestorinsurance.com/fuel.
Welcome back to the Real Estate Pros podcast. I'm Kristen Knapp, and I'm here with Kristi Jenkins, real estate managing broker in Seattle. We're going to be talking about real estate. We're going to be talking about investing, and I'm very excited to get into it. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me, Kristen. I appreciate it.
Yeah. So tell me all about how you got into real estate. Let's go back to the beginning.
Oh, back to the beginning. I had 2 young kids at home, and I was working in corporate America, working in a marketing job for a big gaming company. And I thought that working full time was something I wanted to do even when I had kids, but I realized I really missed out on that time. So I fell into the trap a lot of people fall into, and thought that working in real estate meant that I could create my own schedule and have a flexible, schedule. And I was really fortunate though, because I did partner with my mom in those early years. So she and I built a business together, and that really did allow me to have more of the flexibility than I would have now building this by myself. So I started in it because it was convenient, and then I fell in love with it. It combined a lot of the things that I'm really good at. The relationship building, the marketing side of things, and negotiation. I was actually pre-law in college. So there's a lot of parts about the contracts and negotiation that really feel like they fit me too. And so it ended up feeling like a very natural fit, where it wasn't originally something that I, set out to do or aspired to do. And now, 22 years later, I've grown a business that I'm incredibly proud of. And I think my kids are really proud of me too. And I think I was able to show them that you can, have it all as a working woman. And I still was able to be present for them and show them how to build a successful business. And they are now 2 amazing adults figuring it out on their own too.
Oh, that's amazing. And was
Yeah.
your mom already in the industry?
She had just recently started in the industry. She, all while I was growing up, had a huge daycare in her home, a home-based daycare, and kind of got into it because she was completely burnt out. She was working 15-hour days, and it was a lot of work, and kind of fell into that. And she ended up really successful. Her first year was doing a lot of new construction sales, and it ended up being that it felt like something that I could come alongside of her and assist her and make that transition from a corporate job and work with her. And then it kind of, over the years, transitioned a bit from me being her assistant to her being my assistant, to then me taking over the business when she retired back in 2017.
Oh, that's amazing. How was it working with your mom?
It was great. It was great in a lot of ways. We get along incredibly well. We're really close, but have very, very different business styles. So it was great because we were able to share all of the different tasks pretty equally, but with very different strengths and weaknesses. So we really did balance each other a lot, and it didn't hurt that they lived about 5 minutes away from us for a good part of the time, and then moved in 2 doors next to us. And so whether it was trading off and her taking the kids so that I could, do something real estate related, or me sending her out because I was home with the kids, it really did work out really well.
Oh, that's amazing. And can you think about, as you were getting started, maybe a first deal where you were like, wow, I can actually do this full time. This is actually coming together.
Yeah, I think There was a client who was.
Stop living on an island and join the #1 mastermind in America for professional real estate investors. Investor Fuel is a community of hundreds of the nation's top investors working together to build stronger businesses and better lives. In addition to the amazing community of real estate investors acting as a board of advisors for one another, Investor Fuel members have access to 100% funding on purchase and repairs for our members only, a health insurance program, and benefits and discounts that more than pays for the membership of most of our members, meaning it's actually costing you money to not be a member of Investor Fuel. If you're looking to scale your business and build a business that allows you to live the life of your dreams, please visit investorfuel.com today and book a call with our team.
Pregnant with their first child, and they were a new family buying their first property, and we had recently done the same. And I remember thinking, I really understand where these people are coming from. I can empathize. I can figure out how to proactively anticipate what their questions are going to be because I had just walked through it myself. And it was during that transaction, I think I realized finding people who have walked through a lot of these same steps that I have is my superpower. I mean, working alongside and partnering with them is really natural for me when it's something that I've gone through. I think I'm an empath. I think I can, feel and proactively figure out what it is that their questions and needs are. And that made me really valuable. And I think after that transaction, I thought I kind of now know who my ideal client is. And there was a lot of bumps along the way. And, my strategy and my business has changed a little bit since then, but it has still all stayed along that path of, I want to help those people who I really feel like I've been in the same position.
Yeah.
I can answer their questions, not just adequately, but with expert advice and really direct them in a good path, whether it's buying their first time home or downsizing or, moving into a retirement facility or community. I've done that with my parents now too. So all along those different stages with my own family, kind of mimicking that in the real estate world.
Yeah. And how do you go about building these connections and navigating them long term?
I think it really did come organically. I was really involved with my kids' school, with their activities. And so I made a lot of those natural connections. And I wouldn't say I'm not aggressive, but I am assertive. So if people did have questions about, real estate, I think I answered them intelligently without being salesy, without being pushy. And I think that earned me a lot of just natural respect from people. And so the business really built organically. And you have to remember 22 years ago, there was no social media. We were, it was a very different time to build a business than, what people are doing now. So building those connections, building those authentic relationships, having people trust you because somebody referred you to them who had just recently used you, that was the core of your business. You had to provide exceptional experience. You had to get those word of mouth referrals because there was really no other way to build a successful business than that. So it really taught me, the real heart of what building a long-term sustainable business was.
Yeah. And it sounds like you work with clients, like repeat clients over and over.
Yeah. I'm really proud. I just closed a deal for a client I've been working with for 16 years. This is the 12th transaction I've done with him. And it's, or his family. I mean, I've helped his son, I've helped his ex-wife, his mom, 3 different times, his stepmom, from investment properties, second homes, you name it. We have gone through and done a lot of deals together. And it was just really special to close this last one because it was one that I had helped him purchase. And so we had kind of, gone full circle in between. And it was the first home that I helped him purchase that I ended up helping him sell. And we've had a lot in between. But yeah, I mean, it really did solidify. Your realtor for life, that's something I take very, very seriously. And it's a very personal statement for me because I do want to walk alongside of my clients through each of those stages of their real estate game and help them figure out, how to play it with expertise, with real confidence.
Oh, I love that. And then just give us kind of a rundown of where you're at today with your business.
Today, I feel like I'm drinking from a fire hose right now. I mean, this is just, it's been an unusual time in real estate. I'm really proud of the business that I've built, and I've got several clients that I'm working with right now at all various different phases.
If you're looking for consistent, high-quality leads, look no further than Investor Machine. Investor Machine isn't just another agency. It's the most sophisticated, data-driven lead generation company on the planet for real estate investors, and serves the role of being not just a lead generator for your business, but a marketing partner that is helping you achieve your goals along the way. Go to investormachine.com to learn more and schedule a call with our team today.
One client I've been taking out to look at houses for 8 months now because they just can't seem to find the exact right one. But knowing, that we can also find off-market opportunities and building those connections with other collaborative brokers too, who you can find some real gems and do things a little bit of a non-traditional way is also something that I think is really important when you're looking at low inventory and, tough transactions and tough sales and clients who are looking for something specific. You've got to get creative. And so I think right now my business is just expanded because when the market changes and shifts, you either change and shift to adapt to it, or you really struggle and fail. And, that's not my playbook. So,
Yeah. And talk about some of these creative deals you've done.
I have had several clients. I think I've had a lot of elderly clients in the last couple of years, and I think it's just the nature of your business when you get connected to a couple people and you show your value and you're really empathetic and you really can walk alongside of them. They tend to be a little bit more high maintenance, but knowing what they need and understanding how to help them, we've been able to do. They really couldn't do the traditional get your house ready, purge, have junk removal, stage, leave for the weekend. They were homebound. They had, really specific medical conditions that didn't allow for a traditional sale. And so finding off-market opportunities for them, connecting with brokers who had buyers that were looking for very specific things, and connecting them that way. That came from a lot of networking that I did. It also came from being part of a great team with Real, who has connected me with a lot of various different brokers, and just being open to those opportunities. We were able to get homes under contract. And when we do off-market sales in Washington State, that's something that's not, we aren't allowed to advertise something before it comes to market, before it's officially listed. So you have to really understand and support your client in a way that you would exactly if you were going to bring it to market. So doing a competitive market analysis, making sure you know exactly what the market will sustain, pricing it well, having a pre-inspection, going forward in good faith with estimates and all of that. I mean, we did the entire pre-listing package, and then we knew exactly what we could sell it for, and then we found a buyer to match that exact fair-based market value. And was able to negotiate the terms that exactly fit my client. And it was just a really great experience because it didn't put the same kind of pressure on my clients that a traditional sale would have. And I earned, even though that was probably their last sale that they'll ever go through, a lot of family members are also involved when you're selling older people's homes, and earning their trust and earning their future business was also really important.
Yeah, it sounds like that's a big part of your business is gaining trust and being transparent and walking people through things. I think that's awesome.
Yeah.
Sorry, it just slipped my mind what I was going to say. Can you talk about the Seattle market and what makes it so special?
Yeah. I mean, I think we've got 4 seasons. We've got incredible schools. We've got just a lot to offer in the area, but in the residential communities that I work in, which is just about 20 minutes east of Seattle, I'm based in Sammamish. So I feel like we've got the best of both worlds. We've got a very community, local, very organic community here with exceptional schools, but Seattle is just 20 minutes, into downtown, and it's just beautiful here. The opportunities for outdoor activities is something that a lot of people are drawn to. Have a lot of transplants from places like Texas and Las Vegas and the East Coast who are looking for something that only a place like Seattle can offer. I mean, I can go and be at Snoqualmie Falls in 15 minutes and hike down and just revel in the beauty that we have here in the Pacific Northwest. And then, it's great days in the summertime like it is right now makes you really appreciate the kind of place that we live in. And I'm so happy to have been in the same community we've been in the same house for.
If you're a new or newer real estate investor looking to launch or grow your real estate investing business, please check out Investor Fuel Club. It's a coaching community, but unlike anything you've ever seen before. And you can actually partner with members of our mastermind from coast to coast on deals right in your market. There's no better opportunity to build a consistent business than to literally partner with pros to help you avoid costly mistakes, avoid the need for capital to do deals, and help you eliminate your fears as you're starting your business. Learn more about Investor Fuel Club at investorfuel.com/club.
21 years since I was pregnant with my second child. So growing my family in the same community, really having a pulse on what it's like to live in here, the parks, everything about the community, how to involve my clients with their teachers for the kids' schools and what, dog parks they want to be close to. And if they can't commute via car, making sure that they're close to bus lines. I mean, just being really hyper local, I think has been really important for me in my business. And it certainly continues to make me appreciate what a great area we live in, and bringing clients in and taking them to see all of the touristy kind of things in Seattle and doing all of that has been really, really special.
I love that. Yeah. Networking seems to be a big theme here where you're just really good at relationship building.
Yeah. Yeah.
What would you say to somebody who's a little scared of the market right now?
I think it's a fantastic time for buyers in the Seattle market right now. I mean, if sellers are selling, they need to sell. This is not a time in the Seattle market where people are just putting their house up for sale because, they want to get the highest price or because they just want to test out the market. The people who are selling there's a life change and they need to sell. And so I think for buyers, that creates a really unique opportunity. I think sellers, we've been in this kind of market for long enough that they're pricing aggressively, they're pricing strategically. And so you're really finding, if your agent is doing a good job, you're finding that the comps are supporting that you're going to have immediate equity in a lot of these communities and a lot of these areas. So, that again, when it comes into, investing in an area, you want to make sure that you're making really smart, strategic, long-term choices with these homes too. And I think when you can get in at a really great price, and I'm not saying everybody's getting a fantastic deal, but I think everybody is getting a really, really exceptional, fair price on houses, and seeing that this can sustain them, that they will build equity in these homes because they're not buying at the top of the market like they would have been a few years ago.
Yeah, no, I think that's a great way to look at it and really encouraging for people. So let's talk about your new venture, starting to invest.
Yeah.
Got you interested.
Yeah, like I said, I feel like walking alongside as a partner with my clients has been a really important step. And my husband and I had talked about investing in real estate for a couple of years, but we just really didn't know how to make that jump, how to make that move. And we ended up falling in love with the Scottsdale area. And it's got such a different climate, a different vibe, a different feel than we have here. It just made a lot of sense once we visited a couple of times to invest in that area. So we bought. It was a fully functioning Airbnb. When we purchased it, we did a lot of upgrades to it. I really looked at it and treated it exactly like I would if I was going to stage and sell a home residentially. And so I think that was a very important piece of our investment. Was whenever I sell a home, I want people to walk in and feel like it's home. I want them to fall in love with the way that it makes them feel, what they can anticipate doing in the home, how they can see their family living, how they can see their family growing up in it, the activities they can do in the home. And I really felt it was important to look at an investment property the same way. Even though it's a short-term property, I want the guests who come in to feel like it's a second home, like they're on vacation in a place they can just relax and unwind and know that everything's been taken care of. So from the games, from the pool, updating the hot tub. We did a new pool deck. I mean, we did some big ticket items, and that's not always, the smartest thing to do on a short-term investment property, but we had a little bit of a different vision for it. And we want it to be someplace that, people visit Scottsdale over and over and over, year after year, for different events, the golf events and a lot of different attractions that bring people to the area. And we wanted our place to be someplace that people come back to year after year, and celebrations year after year, and family vacations. And then in order to do that, you really have to create an experience for them at the home. And so we just took that approach. We knew that it probably wouldn't make us money our first year, but again, it was a long-term strategy for us. And we went into it looking at it like that.
I mean, Scottsdale is awesome. I love Scottsdale. There's so much going, like so many bars and restaurants.
Yeah.
It's so lively.
Yeah, it really is. And even, we found too, we thought that this would be a really slow time at our Airbnb, because it is 116 degrees during the day. It's not exactly welcoming for people to come and, enjoy the outdoors, but, you provide enough for people in the house, and you can still create an oasis, inside. We've got an Arizona room where we've got a pool table and ping pong and air hockey. And so there's just a lot to enjoy inside. And so if you can get outside, maybe go do brunch, get out for a little while in the morning and then come back, and during the hottest part of the day, you've got everything you need inside the house to still enjoy a really great, family vacation or bachelorette party, or, whatever the circumstances might be. I think we've created a really special place.
That's amazing. And I know that you said you're managing it yourself. You found that you could do it yourself just as good as a property manager.
Yeah, we had a really tough experience with the first property manager that we had, because we originally weren't planning on managing it ourselves. We felt like, being in Seattle and having the property in Arizona, we didn't have the boots on the ground. We didn't have the hyper local knowledge about what we needed to do. But our first property manager connected us with our house manager, and she's also our cleaner, and she has proven to be fantastic and connected us with our pool person and our landscaper. And so once we put together that boots on the ground team, then it was just a matter of the reservations and the Airbnb and managing the website and the social media. And that's all in my wheelhouse. So I really felt like it was, once we had the people and the team on the ground that we needed to do the daily and weekly activities, then it certainly felt like when we knew that we needed to market it better and present it differently, we knew that was something that I could take on. And it's been a learning curve, and it's taken a lot more time, I think, than I originally anticipated to get all of that off the ground. But now that we have it that way, I'm super proud and really pleased of, kind of care that we're taking of guests and the way that we're presenting the house. So
that's amazing. I can see how shifting from traditional real estate into the short-term rentals game, I can see how that would be a little jarring at first, kind of get the flow of it. What did that feel like?
I think I'm very type A. I'm a little OCD. I don't love to do things that I don't know how to do, because I don't love to fail. But I think that once I got over kind of the fear of what could go wrong, and we knew that we had support and people to kind of, we put it live, and all of a sudden I got a reservation on Airbnb, and the pricing was horrible for that time. And I had to learn through a couple of mistakes that, we can't just put it out there without thinking through a whole year in advance and comparing, pricing and doing a market analysis, but not just for a specific period of time, for literally weeks and months into a year that we don't really know what the market is going to sustain, or what, people are going to be willing to pay for those weeks. And evaluating, when the special events were coming to town, and when it was a really key time, and weekends versus weekdays differently. So doing what I already do in a market analysis, but doing it like to the nth degree. I think making a couple of those mistakes were important for me to understand the process and what we needed to do and how we needed to look at it differently. But that definitely, those were some growing pains that we worked through, and, lost a little bit of money, in that learning experience, but it certainly was worthwhile. And it taught me a lot about how detailed we really need to make everything about our investment, from the business side to the marketing side to the guest experience side.
I love that. And then what are your plans for the future?
Oh, we'd love to invest in more properties. I think we're just trying to figure out what makes sense. Do we continue to do the same type of properties and look for other short-term rentals? Do we, get into more longer-term rentals where we can have, year to 2 year plus, tenants in there rather than short-term guests? What areas do we want to continue to focus on, the areas that we're now getting to know, like Scottsdale, or do we venture into different, areas and opportunities? And then, do we still invest in this? We love this area. We've been part of this community for so long. We've got one of our kids, still lives here and probably will continue to live here. We don't want to be too far from her. And so what makes the most sense for that going forward is kind of that's the strategic part we're trying to figure out right now. But I think we definitely have seen that this is something my husband and I both really enjoy being a part of and doing. And we've gotten our feet wet. And I do feel like it is also, since I've helped so many of my clients purchase investment properties, it's really given me, I think I can help them even better because I can walk alongside them as a partner, which is, like I mentioned before, really what I want to do in residential real estate and investing. I feel like it's the same way. Until I took this leap of faith and invested myself, I couldn't provide the same kind of expert opinion and, process oriented evaluation as I can now.
Absolutely. I mean, it's interesting how both facets of what you do really feed each other.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think sometimes that comes organically and sometimes you really have to make those connections.
Yeah.
And I think, I think some of it has come organically, but I think thinking about the investing side of it differently and with different goals and the way that the house is presented and the way that the guy before us who owned the house in Scottsdale had cut every corner, done things really, really, that he didn't have great reviews. There was a lot of things and he was just kind of, running it from without a lot of care or a lot of attention. And we learned a lot from him too, taking that over and kind of understanding what he had done differently. And it was working for him. I mean, he was making money, but he wasn't building the kind of experience that we're trying to build.
Right. Well, this is all so awesome. And I'm so excited for you starting on this investing journey. How can people get a hold of you?
Kristi Jenkins Real Estate. That's my handle on all social media. It's my website. I've got my phone attached to me 24/7, whether my family loves it or not. So I'm always available. And that's a really big and important part of my business is being available whenever people need me. So.
Awesome. Well, this has been so great. Thank you so much for being here today.
Thanks, Kristen.
Yes, I hope everybody learned a little bit about, both the real estate world and the investing world and got some mindset tricks as well. So thank you so much for being here. Please subscribe if you love this podcast, and I'll see you next time.
Sounds good.
Thanks for joining us for today's Real Estate Pros Show. You can learn more about the amazing benefits of the Investor Fuel Mastermind community, including surrounding yourself with hundreds of other rock stars, 100% financing for your deals, and members-only discounts from vendors you're likely already using that, as a member of Investor Fuel, will save you more than the cost of your membership. Visit investorfuel.com to learn more. If you're interested in joining us as a guest of this show, please visit investorfuel.com/pros to apply. You can also check the show notes for access to free resources, how to get access to world-class lead generation, and much more. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss another episode. Have a great day. We'll see you on the next show.